The annual recruitment budget of the U.S. tobacco industry bulges with more than $5 billion. And the casualties outnumber those of any conventional war the U.S. has waged. Just walk into the bedroom of Florida high school senior Jared Perez and you'll see a tobacco executive's nightmare. On the walls, posters slamming tobacco marketing. On his computer, an internet gathering site for young anti-tobacco activists. Oh, and check out this tape in his VCR.
Publishing.
Yes, could you please connect me to your advertising sales department?
What magazine?
Please. Yes, sir. My name is Josh, and I'm here with a friend of mine named Jared. And I was wondering, about what percentage is your youth readership?
I need to know who Josh is exactly and why you're asking.
I'm with an organization called Truth. I'm just doing a little research about tobacco advertising. I was wondering, do you have any youth readership at all? I mean,
Of course we do.
why do you accept tobacco advertising when you have that kind of a youth readership?
You could at least put in a couple anti-tobacco ads to
We're all
counter it.
for anti-tobacco ads.
Do you think that your magazine would be interested in running some anti-tobacco advertising as a public service, perhaps?
No,
Why not?
because we're in this business to make money.
So is this about people or is this about money?
Publishing is about money. All right, listen, I gotta go. I got a job to do.
Television spots, print, and radio ads are bankrolled by a piece of Florida's multi-billion-dollar legal settlement with the tobacco industry over health care spending for ailing smokers.
We advertise almost exactly like tobacco industry advertises. The reason why we created Truth is to have a brand. There's been anti-smoking campaigns before, but there really haven't been any anti-smoking brands.
The campaign is aimed at youth, but not only that, it's partly directed by youth.
Our program is amazing. It's youth-led. It's actually having an effect. Like, I'm sure you know the statistics, 92% of the kids in the state recognize Truth.
But when time came for the first follow-up survey of teen smoking, the result was something no one expected. The proportion of high school smokers dropped from 27% to 25%, and middle school smokers dropped from 18.5% to 15%. That one-year decline is the largest observed in this nation in almost 20 years. Now, states across the nation are set to begin receiving their share of the $200 billion multi-state settlement with the tobacco industry. But how will that money be spent? People need health care, students need teachers, drivers want roads. Peter Mitchell helped create Florida's anti-tobacco program, and he has no doubt about the right use for money wrested from the tobacco industry.
What I would say is that there's a certain responsibility that came along with that money. It's blood money. You know, people died because of that money, and if you just use that money to, pave roads, and you don't use that money to make a difference for the next generation, then I think that's irresponsible.
As for why Florida decided to devote $70 million to start an anti-tobacco campaign, Mitchell has a straightforward answer.
The commitment we had from Governor Childs, he was willing to fight for this program whatever it took. I mean, in the last hours of the legislature, when the Speaker, the President, and the Governor make up their list of 5 or 6 things they got to have, this was on the list for Governor Childs.
Mitchell and his staff had a little party as the anti-tobacco program approached its first birthday, but not for the reasons you might think. This party was on Peter Mitchell's last day as director. He'd been forced to resign.
All your fault that I'm fired. Had you guys not done as good a job, I would have that thing that we take care of veterans for, job security.
Mitchell says he thinks the late Governor Child's successor, Governor Jeb Bush, supports the program. Yet he says there's pressure to abandon the high-profile anti-industry media thrust.
They were all of a sudden under all this pressure from the legislature, and God, this is tough. And, they need somebody to take a fall.
The prospect of working for a new director who may not be as committed to an aggressive anti-tobacco industry campaign leaves many staffers glum.
Any idea what's going to happen after tomorrow?
Chaos.
What do you think that?
Mitchell's forced departure and the legislative feud over continued funding was felt also by the researchers doing the surveys and studies that have documented the program's astonishing success.
That's been the biggest shock. I'm not a politician. I don't know how to deal with, I mean, I can talk about research. I can't talk about, I don't know how to talk yet to politicians and necessarily be effective. I'm just learning that. That's not what they teach you in programs in epidemiology.
And yet ultimately all this is a political process.
Yes, it is.
Indeed, while many anti-tobacco ads naturally aim at smokers, some media strategists take note of the political nature of tobacco control and set their sights on a larger target.
People fall all along a spectrum. You know, the bell curve, all the way from anti-tobacco zealots who will confront smokers on public sidewalks to the three-pack-a-dayers. But most people fall somewhere in the middle. One strategy to reduce smoking is to try to shovel smokers across the line. But as you see, a lot of them tend to slide back. Another strategy takes a broader view, trying to actually move the middle, to shift perceptions of what's normal and leave smokers farther to the fringe.
The denormalization of smoking, as it's called, fosters political pressure in support of smoking bans in public places and private offices, higher tobacco taxes, and restrictions on marketing. Even as Florida's program came under assault in the state house, a poll by the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids showed widespread support. Nearly 80% of the voters surveyed said funding should be kept at $70 million a year or even increased. But denormalization carries a risk of backfiring by actually increasing smoking's appeal to the natural rebelliousness of teens.
I don't know, when I was that young, it's because I was doing something I knew was bad.
And so, as the anti-smoking marketers in Florida try to turn teen rebellion against the tobacco industry, they take care to follow their 10 commandments of anti-tobacco advertising.
We will persuade, not preach. We will not talk down to anyone. We will appear to be a force as powerful as our competition. We will understand that young people are not the same as they were when we were young. We will realize young people act differently around their friends than they do around us. We will concentrate on solving this one problem. We will not let our paternal instincts get in the way. We will create ideas that trickle down from television to a grassroots rock concert. We will involve young people in a way so that they don't just say what they think we want to hear, and we will not leave anyone behind.
This is a really good one. People like this.
You know, an operation like this does have a certain cost attached.
What if there was a deadly, toxic substance harvested by man?
42-year-old male found out.
NG to hook and barrel. Capable of killing thousands of people in a single day.
In the last 24 hours, about 8,000 people just got 6 feet shorter.
What if someone manufactured this substance in massive quantities?
She's seizing. Let's do them now.
And a select group of people knew about it.
A whole lot of people are dying. A lot of the people are making money off of it.
Then what if the knowledge began to leak out?
Someone's gone public.
Get creative with it.
Mr. Senator, there's no conclusive evidence.
I have the death toll figures right here.
Would anyone believe it?
Just don't wipe out a population the size of Manhattan and wake up and play golf the next day.
Watch me.
I'm not gonna stick around and become the spike on somebody's bar graph.
Dude, you watch way too many movies.
This is not a movie.